Hello again, everybody. It's Harry Box of the Technical Trader, thetechtrader.com. It's Thursday, October the 3rd. Huge rally on Wall Street, taking the S&P 500 from a spike low down there, 28.56, all the way up to 29.11. Meanwhile, the NASDAQ 100 rallied back 170 points after being down dramatically and near the 74.62 zone. Finished 76.38. Huge 175-point rally. And closing at the high for the day, going away. So augurs well for future future extensions. Let's go over some stocks that I like the patterns on and think they may have hit significant levels. About a month ago, I told you AbbVie had been reversed. The moving average has crossed over the stock and run up to resistance, filled the gap. The last couple of days before today, it came down pretty hard to test the trend line and price support and held it. Today, snapping back $1.72, just 2.4%. And the volume wasn't huge, but I got a feeling we've seen the low on the stock. And also the major trend line, which had been in play for a year and a half, was broken and then retested. That's a big deal, because that retest with the follow through to the upside today could result in moves to 76, 80, and 83, possibly 85 on a second or third tier target. ACB and most of the marijuana stocks, I'm only highlighting this one today, spiked down to a new low at 380. In March, this stock traded at over 10, so it's lost 2/3 of its value, but it's suddenly reversed. Now, there is resistance at this double bottom at this level here, about 4 3/4. So watch it. Over 4 3/4, I'm looking for a move that tests the 5.5 level, and then 6.5. Beyond that, maybe it makes a much better longer-term move. Arrowhead snapped back from this falling wedge yesterday, and today followed through a bit, but I needed to get through for me to say this is on its way again above 31.5, 31 3/4. Then we're on our way to retest the high up around 37 and then 43, something like that. Keep an eye on this one. It looks like it's reversed. Needs some better volume. ATVI spiked up, almost left an island reversal off the moving average and trend line. I like that look. Volume was 13.4 million, the biggest in about 5 weeks, and I think we're going to retest 57.5 and then make it up to 62. CRWD among some of the software stocks that had a big rally back. Take a note, folks, from the 102 level, a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-wave decline, it got down to 51. This stock was cut in half in a very short period of time, and it has rallied back nicely with a V bottom and a right-handed extension here. Today's rally of 551, or almost 10% of 5 million, significant enough for me to say it's going to extend, I believe, and maybe tomorrow morning we'll quickly test the 63.5 range, and then make a run towards 70, 71. That's my target. Secondary target, 80. CYH, I put a swing on it today. I love the long-term decline, the reversal with the breakaway gap above the 50, an inside day the following day, and then Rip City all the way up to resistance before the 2-week flag was broken out today. Watch this level carefully. Above 395, I'm looking for a buck and a quarter more, maybe as much as $2 to 6.5 down the road, maybe 2.5 points. ENDP looks like a bottom to me. At least it looks like a triple bottom, broke out and retested the 50, held it, and for 5 days in a row it's been up in the worst market. I think this wants to extend. Looking for a quick test of that 4.5 level right there. We get through that, looking for 5 3/4 and 6 3/4 for the next targets. Well, FRAN with this explosive move back in September after earnings has then wedged for the last month. Today it snapped back on a little engulfing reversal bar, up $1.62 or 13%. Volume wasn't huge, but my next target is 23.5. First, we obviously have to test 16 and then 19. Those are the targets going forward, but an eventual move is 23.5. HEAR reversed off its 21-day moving average, and it's continuing to build a nice base which could support a big move. I'm looking for eventually the test at 12, 12.5 range, and then 14 and 17. MEET, significant opening gap breakaway move and closed near the upper end of the range at 4, up 84 cents or 26% of 9 million. Unheard of breakaway type volume for this stock, and potentially a bottom completed. Near-term targets 4.5 3/4, and then we're looking for 5 3/4, 6. An Invite with 2 consecutive days reversing off the lows. If it can get through and watch this level, a move across 19 3/4, I think gets you 21, 22.5, and then maybe 23.5. But I like the overall look of it. I just need better volume than what I'm seeing. Okay, TA, fantastic move off the low. from 93 to 115 in 4 sessions. Today's 7.9 million, one of the biggest volumes we've seen all year. In fact, in the last year and a half. Yeah, last year. But let's put it this way. Immediate target's 121. If you're able to get through that, looking at 130, 31. That's a big resistance level though. Watch for pullback entry opportunities. UGAZ, I want to point this out because after a big decline, we saw 12 days in a row down, almost unheard of for any stock. It reversed with an engulfing reversal bore on monster volume of 30 million. For me, that's a key reversal. My extension and swing target is 17 and 20. Weibo, Chinese stocks which got hit hard have reversed. Today this looks like a left shoulder head and a right shoulder. The neckline's a little higher, of course, but my target has to be 50 and 57 going forward. Swing trade WW or Weight Watchers came down hard to the trend line, but bounced on an inside day today. We'll have to see if we can get follow through, but your targets are 38 and 43. And finally, ZYXI is looking awesome with 2 consecutive big volume days breaking out of the coil, and today making a nominal new high above the June rally high of 11 3/4, closing at 1180 as high as 1189. I think this may gap and run in the next couple of days. We're looking for 14 and 17. Ultimately, low 20s, 22, 23. That's it for tonight, everybody. Have a good evening.